Good afternoon or good evening. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now in this video, we're going to be going over everything you need to know about Baal, the misconceptions, all of the stuff that I've talked about in a couple previous videos. We're going to kind of condense it down into one video here for your viewing pleasure. If you guys want to see that stuff, I'll have that linked in the comments down below the description as well. And as always, the family's growing. If you guys want to be part of that family, go ahead and hit that sub button, hit that like button as well. Help out the algorithm gods. Let's get into it. Now, first of all, super easy information. Let's talk about the set here. The set is always going to be this set. It's going to be the Emblem of Severed Fate set. It's fantastic. Baal wants some energy recharge. She also wants crit chance, crit damage, attack percent, elemental damage, elemental burst damage. She wants all the stats. She's a super hungry girl. And so this is the set that's really help you out. It's going to give you ER, which is going to give you electro damage, and this is going to give you energy recharge to elemental burst damage, which is a huge thing for Baal because her elemental burst, even though she has like normal attacks and charge attacks in that form, they also count as elemental burst damage. So that's going to be huge there. But let's talk about the first misconception here. You just want to stack your energy recharge into the sky. You want to have like 400% energy recharge. No. Most of your builds out there, guys, unless you're using the new 5-star weapon, the engulfing lightning, you're going to be aiming for like 250-ish energy recharge at the most, because in essence, it's going to be incredibly difficult to balance all of your stats efficiently. Just think of it like a seesaw teeter-totter thing. The more of one stat you have, the better all the other stats become. So the more you stack energy recharge, well then at a certain point, you're going to want to attack percent, crit chance, crit damage. And then once you get those, you want to balance it back out between the elemental burst damage and all of this other stuff. So what I mean by this stuff, a lot of the stuff out there, guys, is everyone's like, you need to run exclusively an AR sands, exclusively an attack percent goblet, and you'll see other information like, no, that's wrong, double attack percent's the way to go. No, you're wrong, attack percent sands and energy electro damage, goblet's the way to go. What is the truth here? The truth is, sadly, Baal's one of the most difficult characters to balance effectively the entire time, because how good this stuff is dependent on your weapon, your team composition, and your substats as well, guys. So what I have ready, rocking, prepping, ready to go here, we're on apprentice notes, so we're gonna have like 34, 35, maybe 50% if we get the engulfing lightning from the new weapon banner, which we're gonna be pulling for Baal later tonight. If you guys have access to this, we might even be live right now. Check it out, the twitch.tv down below. And here's what my stats kind of look like here. So we have 50% crit rate, 145 crit damage, 196% energy recharge. We're missing 32% energy recharge from Baal's ascension stat, and then up to 50% on top of that from her weapon. And if you're using the engulfing lightning, you'll get 30% when you cast your elemental burst. So we might be missing up to 110% here, which would put us at 300% energy recharge, which is very nice. Now, what about this whole sands debacle here? Now, one of the things here is this is dependent on whether you're using an attack buffer in your Baal team, and you're going to get that attack buff for the vast majority of her elemental burst. So what I mean like that, Kujo, Sara, Bennett, if you're going to be standing and getting benefits from their elemental burst for the majority of your duration as Baal in her sword form, electro damage goblet is the way to go there, because you're going to get a large amount of attack. You're getting 800, 900 attack from those characters. And so just like that teeter-totter, you had this giant amount of attack, but you don't need an attack percent goblet. You want an electro damage goblet there. It's mathematically working out that teeter-totter that way. The other thing with the sands here is energy recharge sands for all of the weapons in the game, unless you have insane substats outside of engulfing lightning. Attack percent sands is best if you're using a certain character, because if you're lowering your energy recharge, Baal has a 90 cost elemental burst, so that's going to cause you a little bit of a problem. But there's a cool thing here in that one of Baal's best characters to use in her team is actually the Electro Traveler for 3 different reasons. So if you have the Electro Traveler, you're going to have access to your elemental skill here, Lightning Blade. That's going to make up for you not having that energy recharge to actually fill up the elemental burst. You're going to get a little bit of energy recharge from the Traveler, and then you get that flat energy return amount, and that's going to make up for you not being able to fill up that 90 cost burst, because you don't have that ER sands anymore. So you can wear an attack percent sands, do more damage, get rid of that weakness, and then on top of that, there's 2 other very pivotal things. Baal, with her resolve stacks mechanic, wants 80 cost elemental bursts in her team here, and guess what? Yeah, the Traveler is an 80 cost elemental burst, so one of the best ways to fill up your resolve stacks as well is attached to this character. And then on top of all of that, you have one more thing, which is going to be tied to a constellation that you guys can get your hands on now. And when you are using Bellowing Thunder, which is the Traveler's elemental burst that kind of follows you around and does bonus electro damage, you're going to decrease enemies' resistance to electro by 15%. So she's a triple threat, or he, whatever sort of Traveler you picked. I have the good old Lumin, but this is a triple threat, good, strong character to pick up and play with Baal. allows you to build your Baal a little bit better, get a little bit more damage out of her, get that electro down, and also have that 80 cost elemental burst. Now, weapon selection, to see a lot of questions about weapon selection for 4-star weapons. If you don't have any of the 5-star weapons, guys, honestly, just wait for the catch. It's a fantastic weapon for her. It's going to be free from the event, and level that bad boy up. It's going to be good. If you don't have access to it, or you want to use Baal right away because that event might not be out right away, you can use something in the meanwhile that's going to sort of just do some good damage for you. I have the weapon tier list video for you if you want to watch that. But off the top of my head, something like good old Deathmatch is fantastic for you. Super awesome there. You could also use the Black Cliff weapon, but if you're using Baal as like a support burst character, keep in mind that you might not be getting those Black Cliff stacks, and that really is what makes those weapons good. As far as the other 5-star weapons here, the best one honestly is Staff of Homa, just because this thing is rocking. It's got 66 crit damage on it, fair amount of base attack, and then it gives you a little bit of extra flat attack from its passive there. We're talking like 120, 130 flat attack, and this is so good because Baal is that stat stick monster. She wants crit chance, crit damage, energy recharge, and this gives you a ton of crit damage and a good amount of attack as well. The other weapons, guys, they're all really right next to each other. Staff of Homa is a little bit better than all of the non-new Engulfing Lightning 5-star spears. You have access to the Vortex Vanquisher, you have access to the Primordial Jade Wing Spear, you have access to the Skyward Spine. Those are all pretty fantastic weapons for you as well. They're literally neck and neck between each other. So whatever one you have access to leveled up, you have it, thrown away somewhere, you have that Skyward Spine just chilling out, go ahead and use those weapons as well until you gain access to the catch, because the catch is fantastic. Now, there is going to be a brand new world boss. We're getting 2 new islands, so there's going to be a world boss and a weekly world boss that you're going to have to do for your leveling of your Electro Archon, the Raiden Shogun. So that's something that you're gonna have to do there. So that's probably where all your guys' resins going to go. New flower as well. So you're gonna have the new flower, you're gonna have to have a new world boss, the new weekly world boss, all of that stuff. You have to use the light. So save your resin up, use your resin for that stuff, right? Use that, maybe do the weekly bosses, the other ones at the end of the week, because you're gonna be trying to level up your character, and you're gonna be stuck at like talent level 6 or so for a pretty long time as well. And this is obviously due to the fact that, well, you have a new weekly world boss where you're gonna need your nice 5-star talent ascension mats to use on your Baal. Another thing is that no matter which weapon it is that you're going to be using on Baal, between the 2 new weapons, the catch or the engulfing lightning, they both use the same level up material, which is the Oni mask, which I cannot find right now apparently, but it's the Oni mask. If you have access to these from leveling up, maybe you did it a while ago, or you have some condensed resin, use that on those later this week when it becomes available. Maybe do it on Saturday, Sunday, when all things are said and done, and get ready for the catch to come out if that is a weapon that you are indeed getting ready to use. Now, team members for good old Raiden Shogun, she's gonna have a lot of cool stuff here. Off the top of my head, mono electro or an electro / geo team is gonna be very powerful. And then on top of that, if you have like a cryo physical character that you're using, so someone like Kea, someone like good old Eula, she's gonna fit in super well there. On top of that, she's gonna be able to do superconduct on pretty much anything that you want access to in the sun. Her E does do a okay amount of damage, but it's not the craziest amount of damage in the world there. So those are some teams that you can think about there with the Raiden Shogun. I personally am gonna do like an electro / geo, or maybe a mono electro team, and really bring that back into the forefront, especially if you get like a high constellation Kujo Sara from the banner. That is something else to think about there. Kujo Sara is fantastic with electro characters, and I'm sure someone out there is gonna have a cool showcase with Kujo Sara in Kaching at one point, hitting like 400% crit damage or something crazy like that. I don't even think you can hit that high. But yeah, that's gonna be a pretty wild sight to see. Now remember, if you want to see them polls, have some fun with us tonight, come over to Twitch, hit that, drop that like, hit that subscribe button, turn the bells on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.